where I go beep, beep, and they go, oh no. That's absolutely it. So one of our core values is continued education and innovation, right? And so I would encourage you, what do your core values state? Or are your people educated on all of the things that you do? And then more importantly, do they understand it? So this is where we have created info sheets for the office is like, what is the service? What is the benefit of the service? What are the indications? What are the contraindications? And then what's the elevator pitch on that? And so simple sheets for each service line that you have or modality that you have in your office. You give them that, they study it, you quiz them. And then I have this thing that I call drive-by drilling, where I go beep, beep, and they go, oh no, now I got to drill. Tasha's over here, I got to drill on something. So that's the part of the apprenticeship that I'm talking about. Just because you show somebody something once and they learned it doesn't mean that they understand it. So we need to check in on competencies. That's where that drive-by drilling comes in, where you've given everybody these info sheets, you've checked off on a competency checklist that they understand it, but we go back around. Because how many times have you learned something in your life? And like, even sometimes I'm like, that, how do I spell that? Like, oh my gosh, I've spelled that many times in my life. But it's simple things that we forget sometimes because we're not always utilizing it. So make sure to take the time again to train up your team so they've learned it. You check them that they understand it and they can communicate that back to you. And then drive-by drill, pop in and ask them questions on these things so it stays at top of mind and it's fresh for them. That's our responsibilities as leaders to do that with our teams. Yeah, it goes back to the old saying, trust but verify, look, don't listen, is we want to set expectations. And I really like to say the desires of the organization, because I expect you to do this, which is fine. I think that's okay in the workplace. But if you say, I desire to have this, and here's the benchmarks, we always need to set goals for our clients as well as our team members. So if we set the expectation, then they know what is needed and wanted of them. And then we go in and check to make sure that those people are staying on course and getting that desired outcome or that expectation. So if we don't check in, that's our fault as leaders to course correct as we need to. If you ever had teenage kids that are driving and maybe they don't know the roads as well as you do, and they were supposed to take a right somewhere down the road and you fell asleep and you're like, where are we? They're like, I was driving straight like you told me. And maybe you forget to tell them to take a right turn at this certain mile marker. Now you're so off course. So this is why checking in is so important. Like, the expectation is we're going to get from here to this city. We need to make sure that we're checking in along the way to see if there needs to be any course corrections so we get from point A to point B as we desire.